Hey y'all. So this is Juwan Deshaun Robinson. I had to record here because I recorded on Instagram and it didn't show up. So I had to repost here and I just wanted to do a follow up sort of. So with the Michael Jackson guy from Detroit who was alleged to have committed a crime of murder was dismissed today, found not guilty. He's still in custody, and that's why I'm deciding to record because Michigan is holding this young man when the court jury have found him not guilty of murder. But they did guilty in lying to a police officer, which is not a crime. Um, and I'm quite sure the time that he didn't already been in custody, that would go with time served. But that's another story for another time. What we need to focus on right now here on July the 18th, 2024, is African American was accused of killing, let's say, a Caucasian person. But, the funny thing about this Caucasian, per se, white woman, that the white people don't like her because she's a Jew. And that kind of raised some flags for me. And I believe that's the reason why the case was handled so difficult as far as with the bailiffs and other personnel in the state of Michigan. I believe handling it with poor care, and it's handled so poor to the fact that a person pled guilty, said he turned himself and he called them and told the police department that he did it. They changed the words up for him and said that he said he may have did it. Now we all know ain't nobody gonna call no police and say they may have did it. That means you need to do your job. So you know that he called and said he did it. He didn't say nothing about he may have done nothing. That's just what they told us. That they told told the media, and which relayed the message to us that he said that he may have done it. This is the words that they said. This is the police officers here in the state of Michigan had purposely rewrote a statement for him and presented it to the news in the light that they wanted it to be presented by saying he said he may have done it. And just like the rest of y'all, we heard it on the news many a nights where the broadcasters came on and said that they said he may have done it. They wanted to specifically present it as he may have done it. He said he may have done it. That's talking to third party. When he told them he wasn't speaking in third party, he didn't come to them and say, I may have done something. He told them that he did do it. They didn't tell us this information for almost a year. This is one of the things that makes it racist. There's a couple of things, and we trying to get so far away from this racist thing, but there are elements of racism in this equation. The fact that the three prosecutors that sat up there and said that this black man committed a crime, and the jury said that they found him not guilty, and they still told the state the county, Wayne County, to hold him in case they may press charges. Now, if you know anything about law, you know you can't try a person for the same crime twice. So that means there's another lie that was being orchestrated by who? The prosecution office. I don't know which one you could choose. I'm quite sure when the proper time presents itself, the person that gave those orders will be brought to the front of the classroom to explain to the rest of the students why did they felt that they had the authority to disregard the Constitution of the United States of America. Now, like I said earlier, I had a post and I was really heated when I watched the news and I heard the attorney come on the news and say that the prosecution office said that they gonna hold him for another week in case they gonna press charges on him again, which made me feel as if either they don't know the law or they just disregarding the Constitution of the United States of America. However, we have to watch what's going on for our own purposes, you know, for us citizens of the society here in America, especially here in Michigan, because we have a very large amount of African Americans that can easily be treated the same way. Easily. All it takes is one person to be treated disloyal. Treated with disrespect and unconstitutional, and then they got a habit, especially in urban cities, to ship African Americans down the judicial system like they are part of a industrial factory, and they just keep allowing people to the same, all the way through the judicial system. Which that's not how the law was designed. Everybody's supposed to have their own fair trial and not be treated with discriminatory behaviors that allow people to continue to be processed down an assembly line like dead cattle. Or a Coca-Cola, or a Pepsi bottle, or a Ford Bronco, or a Cadillac Seville, or a bag of Doritos. You know, all these things that's dead. We alive. We need to be treated like we alive. That's what the Constitution says. And that what gives them the authority to do what they doing. So we gotta monitor these checks and balances to make sure they don't treat this young man with disrespect. Because if a scratch happens to him while he in custody, do you know what can possibly happen to Wayne County and the state of Michigan? This man have an opportunity to sue y'all for any amount of money that his brain can think of. Which, if I was his attorney, I would say a trillion. That's how much I would tell him to sue for. You know, way past $1 billion. Because when you sue people, you're supposed to sue so they will stop hurting people. Not so y'all can get a couple dollars so you won't never have to work again and your family don't never have to work. That's not the purpose of suing. The main purpose that you file lawsuits is to stop the people from hurting other people. And you have to sue for money that'll get everybody attention. And if you suing for $1 million or $1 billion, you ain't really gonna get no attention because the insurance gonna cover that. That ain't gonna hurt not one single employee. See, if you make these lawsuits where, hey, y'all about to lose about $3 off y'all checks. Why? Because of what they did. Then everybody, again, checks and balances. Everybody gonna start watching what they doing, because now you messing with my money. And the main reason out of all of this that I want to present this, because we need to find who the real killer is so they can stop pointing their motherfucking fingers at us niggas in Detroit. Because I know that that's what they did that for. Because it's we got too many beautiful Caucasian women walking down around in Detroit. And she been there walking around freely for years because nobody wasn't gonna hurt her. Y'all know that live downtown how the white women that's been living out there single for all these years because they know the niggas love them, right? Well, it don't mean because the niggas love them that the white people love that shit. That's why they hurt her. And I'm going to tell y'all something. If she would have been a regular white woman, it wouldn't have never went to this. But see, you don't understand that Jewish women are not considered white women. So they didn't mind doing what the fuck they did to her. That's why they was all in court laughing and smiling. You ain't see one nigga in the courtroom in there with such disrespect. But you can see all the Caucasian white men in there with those attitudes that like they didn't give a fuck. They smiling and laughing in front of the victim's family. They sitting up there watching these motherfuckers, rednecks sitting up there smiling and giggling and joking. See, that was the fucking last strike. They showed everybody that they were responsible and they know that a nigga didn't do that. The whole time they knew a nigga didn't do it. You know how they knew it from the very beginning? Because a Caucasian man called them and told them he did it. That's the main fucking reason. Fuck all the Matlock Murder She Wrote knowledge that you motherfuckers say y'all got. The main motherfucking reason is a Caucasian man called and said he did it. And I believe this is the reason why they snatched the post down off of Instagram. It's because I said that if it was a nigga that was in the suburbs and he said that he killed, they wouldn't be going through all this shit. If it was a nigga living in Detroit and he was dating a white chick in the suburbs and he called the suburbs and told them that he killed her, it would have been a open and closed fucking case. That's good enough. Good for you. Good enough for me. He said he did it. But what they do, they didn't even tell us for almost a year. We had no idea. We depict this man. We put him in the scene. We fantasize about how he had to do it. They allowed us to sit and visualize and think for months on months on months. They allowed the whole world to see a nigga being the person of main concern about this murder, and they knew that it was another Caucasian man said he did it, and they didn't even fucking tell us. That's violating another constitutional right, which is freedom of the press. They didn't even allow the fucking media to have the information. They finally presented the information when they start finding out that they was about to lose the fucking case. That's the reason. That's the reason why they finally told us. Because if information wouldn't have came back like how the officers lied and shit. Yeah, the little red-haired motherfucker, Chucky, I call him Chucky. How he had cuts and shit all over his fingers, like he was playing with a knife, sticking, because you know, when you trying to do something so gruesome and horrible, you gonna make a mistake and cut yourself. And them blades is sharp. All it takes is just a hair of a miscalculation for you to just nick your fingers with that sharp blade. And he got up there on the trial with blood still on his fucking hands. That little red shit that y'all seen, dark little lines in his hand, that was blood. That was his blood from cutting his hand. They asked him, where was he at? And if you know anything about downtown Detroit, it don't take a police officer to get any motherfucking where downtown take 10 minutes. Not in no police car. You can do the speed limit and get from Belle Isle to where she stayed at in less than 10 minutes doing the speed limit. And what's that, 35 miles an hour? 35 miles an hour. This motherfucker doing every bit of 100 if it's a white woman downtown Detroit. You gonna do every bit of 100 down fucking Jefferson, yang. But you wouldn't have to worry about that. Why? Because it's at least 100 to 200 personnel that's on the clock. There's Detroit police officers downtown at all motherfucking times. That's on the clock. That's on the clock. And all you got to do is look at the badge numbers, the GPS, and it'll show you where each officer was at by their badge number that's in the system. They have a system downtown Detroit where they had each officer's badge number. You know how on Google you get the blue dot? Well, they got each badge number on the fucking screen. You can see who that officer is by his badge number. You can call out his badge number to him and tell him exactly where he's standing at. And am I lying, Washington, D.C.? Am I lying, Pentagon? No, these people who got the information, they know what I'm saying is true. Because they got the same motherfucking system. They can pull the system up themselves. And in Washington, D.C., they can pull up and see where every single police officer standing right now that's on duty. Every single one of y'all. And it got your badge number. Every single one of y'all. That's clocked in on duty. You know, that's insurance purposes. That's so you won't fuck their money up and get them sued for silly shit that you doing because they don't trust you. You motherfuckers are employees. Don't get it twisted. And concluding this here, I just wanted to say that they need to let that man go, you know, for the sake of justice. And if he did do it, we'll fucking figure it out. It'll come. But there's information that's not leading towards him. First of all, it's leading towards two people. I'm not saying that he didn't do it. I'm saying that he was found not guilty. So you have to allow the law to be presented. You can't just choose what parts of the law you gonna abide by. Because if you don't abide by one portion of the law, then you breaking the fucking law. So again, I've already told y'all, it ain't one person that did that shit. There's no way. There's no way that one person could stab the deaf person in their home and they get all the way outside without no noise being heard and nothing. Nobody seeing nothing. I'm not saying that young man is innocent. Because one thing he guilty of, he didn't call the police and say that he seen something. I'm sorry, that a woman was out there bleeding to death, which makes me think that he seen something. And that's the reason why he's so motherfucking scared, because he's seen some people doing something that they wasn't supposed to be fucking doing. And that's why they was in the white cops was in court today and yesterday threatening him with the body language. Y'all seen them. Don't act like y'all motherfuckers didn't see him. Telling them to shh. Hands all over his fucking mouth and face and shit. Don't say nothing. I'm gonna beat your ass. We gonna throwing up gang signs and shit. Y'all seen that shit? Which makes me believe that he walked up and seen something. And that's what he's scared. He's scared to say what I'm about to say is that he's seen a police officer doing some shit that he shouldn't have been doing. Now, what the fuck it is, I don't know. But definitely, I believe he's seen a police officer doing something he wasn't supposed to do. Who? Chucky. And if Chucky did it, then that other Chinese motherfucker did something too. You know what I'm talking about? The little Chinese motherfucker who said that he was with him, the other cop. You know, what I'm talking about, right? The one that said, gave him an alibi. He never left my sight. We was together the whole time. The little Chinese motherfucker. Chinese people is some cold-hearted motherfuckers. They can cut and eat some shit that make a normal motherfucker cringe and ooh. Little fat motherfucker. You wanna take, you know, the initiative and protecting your partner, huh? Well, cause this motherfucker came in there with fingers that was bleeding on the trial. His fingers were still bloody. He still had scratches, fresh wounds on his fucking hand. With that being said, I'll talk to y'all later.